We just got breaking news that's massively bullish for the cryptocurrency market, and guys, will likely indicate the bottom of the current bear cycle we're going through right now. In this video, I want to talk about what just happened, how the price of XRP is already reacting, and the long-term implications, because this is something we've been talking about for months now, finally coming true in this video. We're going to break down the whole thing. Make sure if you enjoy videos like this, you like and subscribe. And with that said, let's jump right into it. And I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, we just got news that we officially have a deal between the United States and Iran. And this is something that we have been waiting on for a very long time now. Over the past couple months, this has been a huge drag on the market. And the reason why it's been a drag on the market is fairly obvious. We're going to recap that real quick because I think it's really important to understand why this is going to provide such a bullish backdrop. But here's the post right here. Trump officially declaring a win between the United States and Iran, or a deal between the United States and Iran. Obviously, he's framing it as a win. He says right here that the blockade is now over and let the oil flow. Now, obviously, oil not flowing was the entire reason the market was selling off. And a lot of people wonder why the market was reacting to this so drastically. It's a little bit complex, but just stick with me here. Essentially, because oil wasn't flowing through the strait, inflation predictions were rising extremely quickly. Essentially, if oil's not flowing, the price goes up. Oil isn't everything. Everything is getting more expensive. And the reason why this was impacting markets so badly was because we're already in a historically extremely high interest rate environment. If we take a look at interest rates at the moment, we see that they're currently at an effective rate of about 3.63%. Now, interest rates over the past 20 years really have been around 1.25%. So interest rates, in comparison to where they have been extremely high. Now, a lot of people were worried that if this conflict kept going on, we were going to have to see the United States increase interest rates again. That's where Polymarket was actually putting the odds at, and that would essentially make it so we were back in an environment where interest rates were getting jacked up higher and higher. Now, the interest rate regime we're already in is already negative for cryptocurrency because cryptocurrencies are growth assets and typically do better in a low interest rate regime. Take a look at this period right here. This is where we saw the majority of the bull runs for the cryptocurrency market. A low interest rate environment, an environment that was extremely conducive to growth assets like crypto. But essentially, because of the inflation problem coming out of C19, and people were worried that the Iran situation and the oil flow situation was going to create another reason to raise interest rates, the cryptocurrency market has been essentially in a position where no matter how bullish the fundamentals are, we just could not get any macro environment that would allow it to prosper. But now, because of this resolution, I actually think it's highly probable that this line is going to be going the completely other direction, and we are actually going to be going into a very low interest rate regime. Take a look at the history of interest rates in the United States. They almost always, after going up and maintaining stability, come crashing back down. Go up, come crashing back down. Go up, come crashing back down. And to me, it looks like this cycle is going to be no different. It looks to me like we just went through another period where interest rates went up and they are about to come crashing back down. Now, not only did we just go over all of that from a fundamental perspective based off of what we're seeing, resolution in Iran, but Trump and Warsh are literally coming out and telling us that. We know that Trump has wanted lower interest rates since he came into office, and he literally put Warsh in power to lower interest rates. So I don't think you have to go out on that much of a ledge to say it's very likely that interest rates are going to be lower. And guys, I believe that this is going to actually correlate to a macro bottom in the cryptocurrency market. We take a look at XRP right now. This is the first sign of life we have seen in a while. XRP up to $1.17, rebounding, putting in a bit of a V bottom. If we wake up tomorrow and we actually see the stock market opening extremely green, this deal holds, we are likely going to see XRP bouncing back up into this range. I believe creating support at about $1.40, but or rebounding much higher. Now, taking a look at the weekly, it really tells a much different story. And this story is more having to do with the RSI. So if we zoom out and take a look at XRP on the weekly price chart, and this is actually probably one of the most important things that anyone can be paying attention to if they are a long-term investor. What we can see is we are creating now a double bottom. Now, let me just get this out of the way. We are creating a double bottom on the RSI, the likes we have never seen before. We have only seen this one other time coming out of FTX and Terra Luna. And guys, we just double tapped that same exact level. This is one of those long-term mathematical indicators that you just know aligned with a macro bottom. And I don't think it's any coincidence that that is happening at the same exact time that we are getting a resolution in a conflict that likely has the chance to determine monetary policy moving forward. Now, with all that said, let me tell you about something even more interesting about all of this. Now, in my opinion, everything we saw in Iran was massively bullish for crypto, even though the market didn't react to it. The truth is it's very obvious to make the calculation or make the understanding that, okay, the United States doing things that are going to cause inflation is going to cause interest rates to go up, which is bad for crypto. But not a lot of people understand how important this event was for the adoption of crypto. Because what did Iran do as soon as the United States started cutting them off the SWIFT system and started seizing their assets? They started taking payment for oil in cryptocurrency technology. Now, this alone proves that cryptocurrency is vastly valuable, especially in times where the world has to do business with one another, but can't necessarily trust each other. It is a proof point that this technology is more powerful and usurps the current financial system. And that is a huge proof point for long-term adoption. That's a huge proof point that when times are tough, countries are going to resort to systems that they have control and sovereignty over. And I believe we're only heading further and further to that world. I've oftentimes talked about on this channel, what is the most bearish thing we could see for crypto? Now, there's actually two things. One, another technology comes about that's just better, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen because I haven't seen anything that's even close. With that said, though, there is one other thing. And that one other thing was that the United States just becomes friends with everyone. And everyone just says, you know what? We're totally happy with the United States dollar. We are totally happy using the United States dollar because we can trust the United States. Now, for a long time, that was the case. But everything we're seeing in the world right now is moving us in the complete opposite direction. And I believe, even though the market doesn't yet understand that, in my opinion, it's actually a huge bullish catalyst for crypto over the long run. So now not only are we coming out of this event that I believe is going to strengthen crypto's adoption more than ever, but at the same exact time, we're actually changing the macro policy in the United States to one that is significantly more favorable for these types of assets. This, to me, is an excellent setup for the market misunderstanding something that's been going on for quite a long time now and totally overlooking the long-term impact, the long-term cementing this is going to do to crypto in the world economy. Now, I believe all of these things coming together now on the backside of clarity is just really going to restart the powder keg, restart the adoption, restart the interest in people deploying back into this asset class. And if we have low interest rates like I think that are coming, this is going to be one of the biggest asymmetric trades out there. You have to understand, a lot of people took a break from the cryptocurrency market to go chase AI because essentially we weren't getting clarity as fast as people wanted. The Bitcoin reserve didn't happen. And a lot of people just, let me just play around with AI for a little bit. Guys, those people are going to come back. They always do. If there was ever a shakeout that was not actually going to shake people out for real, it was this one. And trust me, FTX and Terra Luna was so much worse than what we just went through. This was nothing. This is going to do nothing to long-term adoption. And like I said before, it's only going to bolster it. So the one caveat here, the one thing we need to watch is whether or not this deal actually holds. Now, I've talked about this a lot on the channel. Like, I just think there's not really a choice here. There's going to be a deal either way, because even if Trump has to agree to a shitty deal, he's going to agree to a bad deal just to get this thing over with. So personally, I actually think there's a very, very high chance this is going to hold. I think it's very unrealistic that it's not going to hold because there's just not really another option. This is really all they have left in terms of moving things forward. But right now, at least we have a very, very good sign, some great precedent that we are in a good place. We're going to move away from this. Interest rates are going to come down, and we are going to be in what I believe is going to be a moment that is going to make a lot of people really look bad. All the people saying, oh, the Trump administration was bad for crypto. Oh, I'd rather have Gary Gensler back. Oh, this is the worst time in the industry. I think a lot of those people are going to get caught essentially jumping off sides on this. And the obvious answer of the previous Biden regime kicking cryptocurrency companies out of the United States, jacking up interest rates, essentially suing every single person they could in the cryptocurrency industry. I think what we're going to see is an administration actually being productive, lowering interest rates, working with these companies, working towards clarity is going to make the market go up a lot more over time. I think a lot of people are going to look like fools on this. I think a lot of people jumped off sides and were way too quick to say, oh, this is all just one big failure. And I believe the people who are just pointing out that, hey, this is a little bit of a crazy time. We're going to get through this and the other side is going to be a lot brighter. I think those people, the rational minds, are going to end up winning out big here. Thank you so much for coming. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. For now, Nickel out.